right, Rick, how are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great. What's going on, sir?
Not much. I'm really glad and excited about you joining with me this today to talk about how to build a rock star team. I've seen teams built so many different ways and on so many different concepts and ideas, and it's always great to get a different perspective. And I think in that we can grow together. So. I want to start out, Rick. Just introduce yourself. I'd like to, we don't have to go all the way back to when you were born. Uh,
There's some interesting topics from that time period. Some
I bet
crazy.
those
Yeah,
years,
yeah.
old years. Yeah, we're going to stay away from that today. I want you to start. What got you into real estate?
Um, Before real estate, I was doing some remodeling work. I was building kitchens and bathrooms, and my mom actually was one of the encouragers to get my real estate license. And this was in the 2004 timeframe, and she was telling me that instead of trying to work for so many others, I could actually buy and trade my own properties. And even back when flipping really wasn't considered the flip process, so I got my real estate license in October 2004 and really discovered that even the flipping side of things was very difficult. So I just never forget, one day I was sitting in the parking lot at the Prudential Gary Green office where I was working, and our office manager at the time was a gentleman named Bill Neal. And Bill tapped on my window, and I rolled it down, and he was catching me changing my pants from khakis into jeans or jeans into khakis, one of the two. And he told me, he said, if you wear khakis, you'll make more money. So I decided to wear khakis from that day forward. So I kind of gave up the flipping idea and got focused on real estate sales. So that's where the true, I guess, true focus began.
And how long ago? What year did you get your license?
So it was October 2004. So this is my 14th season.
Same year I started. So what a
Yeah,
question.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you haven't always been a team. You started out as an individual agent. Talk a little bit about that and what got you onto the path of thinking, okay, maybe with some leverage, I could do a lot more.
Um, Really, our team building process really kind of took shape after 2013. That spring, I was diagnosed with a melanoma tumor inside my right eye, and I got a little nervous just about what my life expectancy was, what longevity looked like. At the time, I had a 4-year-old daughter, and it was kind of one of those things where it was like, if I'm going to do something, now would be the time to really kind of put it all together. My wife Vanessa had received her real estate license in April of 2012, and so we were kind of in this process of next steps, administrative support, and then we kind of got to the point where we had a great year and we were both exhausted, and it was like maybe we need a buyer's agent. So I would say that the team growth started off extremely organic without a lot of focus and that I'm going to build this thing huge or build it to this particular level. It really just kind of came down to necessities, and we had built our business organically through the years, just through networking and different functions of the business. But that was when we partnered up with our first buyer's agent, was a gentleman named Jake Johnson, and love Jake. And he was with us for 3.5 years, and now he's on his own, going to grow his own team and do his own thing. And he graduated from the RockStar Group. So now it's just a matter of taking that same a little bit of fear. I didn't want to drive people around. I mean, the last thing I wanted was for someone to have an accident and then they find out that I was blind in one eye, and then, then that could cause a storm. So it was really just out of trying to figure out what I could do. And if something were to happen to me, if there would be something tangible that my family could have.
Yeah, and so I've known you both as an individual agent and as a team agent. What do you think is this? What's the difference between the two? What do you appreciate about either one, and what do you dislike about either one?
Um, I would say that the independent solo agent is the jack of all trades. You have to be. You've got to learn so many different pieces of the puzzle, and you have to excel at so many different pieces of the puzzle. And in doing that at a high level, without having a team, you end up in a situation where you're working around the clock. People come into this business and think they want flexibility, and I can do it when I want, and I want to do it this way. those are the guys that are out of the business in a short period of time because they didn't really put forth the amount of effort. I mean, it's an effort job. It's something that requires hard work, dedication, come into the office and do all that. What I what I didn't like about the solo agent was the hours. It was just, I mean, I worked all the time. My daughter was born. I had two other children from Vanessa's previous marriage. And so it was trying to be a dad and trying to do all those things. And I knew that I wasn't going to be able to do all that. So the growth into the team side of it all has been a big blessing because I took all the things that I really enjoyed about the industry and all the things, I just put them in columns. If I liked it, that was great. If I didn't like it, I would put it over here. And the things that I didn't like about the industry, that's where I needed help. And part of that was administrative. So I knew that I'm not a paperwork person. I don't like compliance. I like to do things willy-nilly. Just let me go out and do what I need to do.
That doesn't
and I learned
surprise
that,
me, Rick.
huh?
It doesn't surprise me, Rick.
No, not at all. So I wanted to kind of create that next level of things that I knew I didn't do at high levels and do it well. I needed to find somebody to do that. And interestingly enough, I thought that I really enjoyed the buyer side of the business, but what I found out was I really enjoy the listing side of it. I like the presentations. I like the putting the marketing pieces of the puzzle together. I enjoy the social media marketing of things, and so that became kind of a, I like to find buyers, but I didn't really enjoy that side of it all. So the buyers agents on our team excel at that at a really high level because that's something that they do. They love opening doors, and I like creating those opportunities for them. So my lead in this particular team is really about going out and finding the listings, creating listing opportunities that would then flow in the trickle down into the many different buyers agents.
Yeah, we know listings create buyers. So
Yeah.
driving the team is by going out and finding those listings. And so if somebody starts today, I may have some people they're moving up in their business. Maybe they're hitting a ceiling. Maybe they're finding their times being filled with administrative stuff, and they're looking to make that first hire. Where do you even start?
That really is going to boil down to the things that people really enjoy. I think that every real estate team is built so vastly different. I think the first hire obviously has to be administrative support. Where are you going to find people that are going to help elevate your game? And that creates the cost per hour type stuff. So if I know that I'm better at meeting individuals, networking, things that they're creating the opportunities, I need to spend more time doing that. So the administrative side of it is always going to be historically the first hire. I've seen teams go the other route where the rainmaker still enjoys the administrative piece of it. That's something that they really like, and so they hire sales support. So they go out and find sales teams that are going to go out and help them. They like figuring out all of the angles for the prospecting side of things, and they can grow from that angle. But most of us get into the business because we want to interact with other people, and so that's why they say that the administrative side is always going to be the first avenue, the road to take.
So when you're looking at administrative, what type of person is this, or is there any qualifiers that you're looking for to say they would make a great fit on the RockStar team?
Well, what we're looking for is somebody that's very checklist oriented. We want somebody that's personable. We want it. Ironically, here's the funny story. So, they always say that put out into the earth what you want to receive, and what you focus on expands. Our last hire for our administrative team was almost 2 years ago, and so the summer of 2016, we put an advertisement out that we were. Actually, I put it on social media that I was looking for a drummer for our band. And you think about the drummer personality. Is the drummer is the one that keeps the beat. They're the ones that make sure everybody's in tune, and they're watching everybody. They're watching the lead guitar, the bass player, the piano player. They're the ones really making sure that the sound is appropriate. And so So I put this out on social media. I did not put that in our ad. We went through a couple of different resources for discovery of this particular person, and so we were combing through the applicants, and so we found one that we really thought we liked. And so when we were having our initial interview, I said, "Tell me that." I said, "What do you like to do for fun?" And she says, "Well, I'm a drummer in a band." And I went, "You're hired."
That's funny.
So,
Yeah, that
and
was going
she's
to be
been
my
here
next
for,
question. Were they actually a drummer?
huh?
That was going to be my next question. Were they actually a drummer?
Yeah, she was, and she's still here, and so we're excited about that. And so I think that the they have to be somebody that fits your personality. They have to be an extension of yourself. I think the person that you're looking for from a personality perspective is somebody that enjoys communicating with people, but they're just not into the prospecting grind of it all. They like more consistency. They like they like to know that that they come to work and they've got a specific amount of time. They get their job done, and then they can venture off. The life of a salesperson in real estate is availability, and you've got to be available at times when your clients are available. And it doesn't mean you have to break your rules on when you're going to work and when you don't work, but that role doesn't want to take calls at 8 o'clock at night. They don't want to be up at midnight searching for homes for a new buyer. They're just not interested in that. They like the consistency of their job, and they like to do a job well done. So you find that individual that's a good fit for the administrative side.
Yeah. So the question I always get asked is, what do you pay these guys? Like, how should you base your pay for the talent for that type of position?
Um, you know, we probably are on the high side, but we're happy about it simply because we feel like that she's perfect at keeping us in tune. She's available when we know she's available. She's very responsive. We started ours off with a salary level, but we also tied it to our GCI, so that if we had a great month, then she could be bonused on our GCI. So we pay her a percentage of the GCI. She's not currently licensed, but she's in the process of getting her license. And so we want to also plug her into the opportunities that eXp offers, and have a licensed assistant that can also grow a secure downline down the road.
Great. So with the assistant, do you see that as a position that would always stay the same, or do you see that as a position to grow somebody into something even bigger? Because I know a lot of people may not know they're listening, but I know one of your personal goals is to be the largest real estate team in Texas and the most successful. So is there a point where that person could grow into something else? Do you see that in the future?
Oh, absolutely. I think you look at the where opportunities grow. I mean, our push to be tops in Texas is still going to be an organic push. We're not just going to go out and just start absorbing agents and just plugging them in place and just hope that they do well. I mean, we want to find agents that are going to fit, that they're going to integrate with the team extremely well. But the administrative role, you have to put growth opportunities in front of people, no matter what the positions are. And if you have somebody that understands the internal workings of the team, then you can create your hub atmosphere. And you've got somebody that can observe what's going on, can be the responsible for the next hires. So we do have a need for a transaction coordinator, and she's going to take an aggressive part in that position along with Vanessa. And it's so you want her to start that process. But yeah, she can grow into being kind of like your I will call it, just from a lack of other terms, is like, I would love for her to be my Monica Reynolds. Monica Reynolds ran Chris Heller's team in San Diego and did such a great job at it. I would love for her to develop into that mindset.
Like an operations manager, essentially.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So you get through hiring that administrative assistant, and I think transaction coordinator may go somewhere along those lines as well. And we obviously provide leverage. What is that next step beyond that?
After that, it's just really about, you've got to develop your systems where where your lead flow is going to come from. I would say the predictability of the internet has made it very effective at basically dialing up your leads or dialing them back down. So you can effectively spend a certain amount of money within Google AdWords or farming to Facebook stuff, but you know how many leads you need to support your team. And so when you create the systems that can dial that in, then it becomes scalable. So the next step is discovering who are going to be the salespeople for your team. And that's your buyer's agents. And then eventually you'll hire listing agents too.
Awesome. So is the criteria, what is the criteria you base for your buyer's agent? So somebody says, yeah, I get that a lot. Hey, I'm a new agent. I want to go be on a team. And I'm like, it usually doesn't typically work like that. What is that criteria you're looking for a buyer's agent to enter your world?
In the disc profile, I personally prefer an ID personality. I want a very social, interactive person with a high I personality, but I also like some D that they actually have some direction into where they want to go. They know how to ask the right questions. They aren't going to, well, let's see, I hope they'll be okay with it. I mean, they need to have some direction in saying, I'm your consultant. I'm listening to the things that you're asking for. Here's my suggestion. Here's why. Let's do it. Versus just I'll show you, oh, I love showing homes. Let's go see 100 homes.
Right.
We're big on the ask 100 questions, show 5 homes versus ask 5 questions and show 100 homes.
Yeah, no, definitely. And as this is going on, we are streaming this to Facebook Live. So if you have any questions, post them in the comments there, and I'll make sure we get a few of those answered by Rick here as we go along. So talking about the buyer's agents and listing specialists, are there any volume criteria? Like, does your team need to be at X number of dollars in order to bring somebody on? I know your model is a little bit different. Could you explain that?
Yeah, I mean, our model is grow as you go. You can kind of picture the processes, right? So if the average buyer's agent nationally is selling between 20 and 24 homes a year on a team, you can start doing the math. How much money do I have to follow the simple systems to allow them to have the right number of leads and handle the right amount of expectations? The benefit from the team is that a buyer's agent can join a team. They can learn. They can get their database situated the way they want to go. And the goal is to either we can love on somebody forever, or we can get them to a point where they're comfortable to be able to say, you know what, I think I'm ready. We've had that happen with 2 of our agents. Jake and Mike have recently gone on to develop their own systems, and we're excited because the EXP model still allows them to kind of go out. We're still a participant in their business just because of the way the upline works, and we're happy about that. Mm-hmm. I think that in traditional models, they want you to grow and then add, grow and then add, grow and then add. And that puts too much strain and pressure on the team to get to a point where you're busting at the seams versus let me just go find the right people. I can plug and play. You can find the personality matches. If someone fits a better personality for listings versus a buyer's agent, you can migrate them from one slot into another. And then if the sales part just really isn't it, and they really are a talent, you find the right measure for them. Are they better at marketing? Are they better at certain things? But the team allows an agent to actually have a life. They don't have to feel like I have to be that person that's going to be the solo agent, that's going to be the administrative support. I'm going to be the marketing team. I'm going to do website development. I'm going to handle sales. I'm going to handle all of these things that have to take place. So if I migrate over the team, yes, there's a cost associated that, but you get your life back. So I would challenge most newer agents to get away from, oh, that's a terrible split, I'm giving up all my money, to what am I actually gaining? The potential is for an agent to gain, time with their family. If they want to go on vacations, their support. If they need help with opening a door. This past weekend was a perfect example for some teamwork perspective. We had an internet lead that had come through. An agent had been working really hard on creating some levels of engagement. And right when that internet lead said, I'm ready to go see a house, she had an open house scheduled for that time. So she quickly posted in the team group. We had another person go out and open the door. The person loved the home. We were under contract later that afternoon, and the internet agent got full credit for it. So, that's the benefit.
Yeah, having that leverage. When you're that solo agent, you're trying to do everything on your own. That probably would have been a lost deal, or they would have to cancel that open house, and then you have
No, then you've got an upset seller. You've got all kinds of things that go crazy with that. So,
yeah. So when would I decide, at what point in my business would you decide to begin building that team? If that's the direction you want to go, there's some people that are just okay doing, 24 to 36 transactions a year. They're great with that. Have a great life. There's those though that want to take it to that next level. At what point, maybe let's talk about maybe in terms of volume. Where would they look at making that first hire and beginning that process?
I think when you're in the 18 to 24 range on production is when you need to make the first hire for administrative support. It can be part-time, but that just still frees you up from all of the minor long night tasks that you're working on, because during the day you're spending prospecting and looking for business. To really kind of start the team building process, I think if you're hovering around that 36 to 42 number, you can bring in a part-time showing agent. That's a model that becomes valuable. You can have somebody that's just opening doors for you during the day. You pay them a small percentage or a per door fee. But then if you're into that 50 unit a year number is when you need to have buyer agent support, and that's what's going to help you allow all the things that are those acorns that are falling off and not getting rooted. They're just rolling off and withering away, and you're not capturing them. So when you're in that unit count, I would say 40 to 50, you really need to be, because you're just pushing yourself way too hard. That leverage will allow you to, and what had happened for us is that we allowed Jake to kind of come on board. We gave up some GCI on the front end, because you're building your team, you're taking away from your sales side. But however, I wasn't working as many hours, and so when I factored it in on a per hour basis, I was actually making more money than I was, and I was able to do more things at home. I mean, still, we were running a team. It still takes a lot of time, but I wasn't as into the business as I once was when we didn't have that.
Well, it gives you the ability. I always like to talk about working on your business instead of working in your business.
Mm-hmm.
And having that leverage. What is your thoughts? I hear this all the time. It drives me absolutely nuts. Is when agents say they're 24/7 agents and I'm a hustler. What do you think that does as far as to that person's ability to grow the business to the next step?
I think it totally eliminates where they are. I think you lose most. I mean, there's going to be a few clients out there that'll say, "Go, Jeremy! Yeah, you're a hustler. Go get it." But at the end of the day, I think that if you're coming, and this is where we've been able to do really well through the years. We want to dedicate to our client a specific amount of time, and I don't want my clients to think I'm a hustler. I don't want my clients to think that I work 24/7. I want them to know that they're a priority, that they're going to get top level service. They're going to get great negotiators on their team. And at the end of the day, we're going to provide the right amount of service that they require for their transaction. And then there's always the little extra things that we kind of toss in there. But I think the majority of people out there will kind of follow the hustler or that mentality, because, oh, my agent responds to my call all the time. But I really think they're doing more damage than good in doing that, simply because you're not setting boundaries. And when I finally came to the conclusion that was okay, I started just telling my clients, hey, I'm unavailable during this time. I've got to go to my daughter's event, or my wife and I have something, or I have another appointment, and they respect that. At the end of the day, I want my clients to feel like that the time that they have with me is very special, that I'm just not available for anybody willy-nilly.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the powers of having a team.
Yeah.
That open house example is a perfect one. Hey, I'm still going to go out and do my open house, but I've got somebody here that can help me and go show and close that client.
And the client was extremely happy. They just wanted to go see the house.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, who is it about?
It's about them.
It's about them.
Right? Yeah.
Them. So when we can service them at that level, as long as, I always coach teams that, it's not that they do business with Rick Raanes, it's that they do business with the standards and expectations of Rick Raanes.
That's right.
That can be passed along to any individual on the team. So at that point, it's just a factor of going and finding people that have the same standards and expectations that I do.
Mm-hmm. And then, there's a lot of different team building methods out there where, you'll see teams that'll hire 4 or 5 agents at a time, and they'll train those 4 or 5 agents, and then you'll have some that'll fall off the boat, and that's, the slow to hire, fast to fire mentality, there's all these different methods, and I think that the rainmaker really has to decide, how they want to go about the process, because I found trying to do it fast, you fail. Try to do it too slow, you miss opportunities. So there is this middle ground where no matter what, your foundation has to be ready to go. You can implement a new program only when you've mastered all of the others. And you see all these different people out there that are they just start grabbing at things, and they go, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, all these shiny objects. And next thing you know, they've got this toolbox full of great things that they have absolutely no earthly idea how to implement. And then all of a sudden their costs go way up, and then all of a sudden they're broke, and then they just go, okay, I'm just going to disband the team and start all over again.
Right. It's a cycle, right? They
Yeah.
think it's that spend money to make money mentality, when actually it's, if I were going to invest in systems, tools, or people, the first investment I'd make is in people.
Sure.
That's what's going to drive you a lot quicker to your goal.
Yeah.
Well, Rick, I wanted to keep this to about 30 minutes. What would be one piece of advice that you would give to an agent today that's just been really top of mind with you lately, as you look at others that are participating in the industry?
I'm a very big on organic database mining. I think that if you're involved with your database knows who you are. They trust what you're doing, and you're sharing stories. The things that we want to focus on are just really drilling back down into the very simplistics of basics of internet marketing. Talk to people on Facebook Messenger. Have a goal. Whether it's 5 people a day or 50 people a day, it doesn't really matter. But go into Facebook Messenger and talk to people on the backside, not just on Facebook. Find out about them, and then you can go to your timeline and say, "Oh my gosh, I just had a great conversation with Jeremy. Congratulations!" Go to their page and post on some things. Create that level of interaction, because Facebook is a gold mine for business opportunities that people if they just trust the organic side of it, it'll grow like crazy. But we want to make sure that we're talking, for me, I have a goal of 20 Facebook messages a day. I have 20 text messages a day that I send out to people that I haven't talked to in over 30 days. And I try to send out 15 to 20 personal emails every day. And there's something really simple. It's like, hey, Jeremy, I was online. I saw some great things happening with your family the other day. Congratulations on your kids on their swim meets. Congratulations on your soccer events. That was awesome. And all of your stuff is on your signatures. They're going to click on your things on there. But if you're sending those types of things to people that you know, love, and trust, they're going to respond appropriately. That's making your phone ring where you're not having to dial out to those guys. And the other thing that I would suggest heavily is go back to the handwritten note. Just, create a 30-minute to an hour window every single day to write 3 to 5 thank you cards to whoever. It could be to the server at a particular restaurant you just went to. Send a thank you card to the restaurant that says, I was there last night. Man, the hamburger was great. Loved it. Thanks for Tasha for being a great server. They're going to share that message with them. And now you go back a couple of times and you're the guy that's written that. You're going to get a better table. You're going to get all these different things. You're going to be you're going to be the rock star for those types of vendors. So that's also another thing that we try to do every single day. And we fail. We get busy. But if we do that the goal is to do that every day, then guess what? Your phone will ring so much more than you ringing out, and your business will just explode.
Yeah, it's going back to what real estate was built on, and that's traditionally built on a relationship and a personable one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah,
I love it. Rick, before we finish up, I want to congratulate you and your team. Recently made the Houston Business Journal. Tell me a little bit about that. what was the closings? How many closings did y'all have?
Oh gosh, last year was great. Brian and I put together with the combination of teams, we ended up closing 168 transactions, and we did 41 million in production. Right now, this year, we're right at 90, and we've closed 25 million for the first half of the year. So it's it's impressive. We've got great people on our team. We've got people that care about their clients, and they're anxious about doing the right things. And we had our meeting this morning, and our goal for the last half of 2018 is simplicity. I was right, that sign behind you is inspire, and I think simplicity will inspire greater levels of success, simply because we want to drill down to the things that we do best. And I ask people all the time, what is it about life that you really enjoy? And if it's quilting, or if it's playing golf, or whatever that is, dedicate 4 to 6 hours a week doing those types of things, but not by yourself, doing it with other groups of people. And then if you're doing that and having fun, business should be all about faith, family, and business. And if you're involved in your faith, then guess what? You're around people that you're involved in the same spirituality, no matter what it is. You're going to connect with them. They're going to know you, love you, and trust you. Your family is not just blood. Connect with people on your street. Become like family with so many different people, and then your referrals just grow like crazy. And then business becomes a natural byproduct of the faith and family. And then if you're throwing in fun, your business just gets to that whole nother level. And so, tell people what you like to do. Tell your sphere, which is your people on Facebook. Just go out and find those things that you enjoy the most, and your business will follow you.
I 100% agree. I mean, those are great points to share. I'm looking down to see if we have any questions, Rick. We did get one from Kathy asking how many people you have on the team currently.
Well, the most we ever had was, we had 10 agents, and we had several that were just kind of hanging in there, that just were kind of trying to come on board. Like I said, we were hiring a bunch, training a few. Right now we've got 6 buyers agents, and I'm the listing agent. So we have 7 producing agents on our team. And really excited is my son Holton takes his test next Wednesday, or this Wednesday, and we're hoping that he'll get to come on board and start off as one of our ISA roles. So we're going to let him start plugging in the ground floor.
Well, we know he's going to be great because he's a Texas Aggie graduate. So
that's right. That's right.
Danielle Sombrero says hi. And,
howdy.
We've got a few other likes here, and I'm sure this will continue to generate some conversation over the next few days as people watch it and read it. And Rick, I just want to thank you for your friendship, and thank you for the opportunity to be able to interview with you today, and for you to pour back into the lives of people that I care about. And those are people in my industry and the coaching clients that I pour back into. And I want to end with that final question. What is the importance of coaching in your business? I know you've been a big advocate and you're a coach yourself.
Yep.
What's the importance of hiring a coach?
Well, a lot of for me, the coach is all about creating levels of accountability. You look at it from you got to spend money to make money type things. And so I first started with the MAPS program, and I thought, golly, this is $12,000 a year. It's $1,000 a month. I mean, it's almost as much as my mortgage payment. And I got to thinking, is like, well, my goodness, if I can't restructure my business in a way, or learn one particular text message, or learn one piece of advice from somebody, for me to sell a $400,000 home a year, I don't need to be in the business. I should be always have a learning-based business, and I need to learn from people that have been there before me. And, real estate's not a place where you can pick up a book and I will tell you that you go out and you can read some of these things, but implementation becomes very difficult. So when you're doing things and reporting to someone up above you, you have deadlines, you have ideas that you can run past. If you run into a challenge, you've got somebody that's been there, that's coaching you on how to do it at a higher level. It just takes you to a whole nother spot. 2 years ago, we joined Club Wealth as one of their clients. And then 18 months ago, I actually became a coach. And when I became a coach is when our business really started to really take off, because I had higher levels of responsibility for the people that I was trying to help them in their business. So very similar to what you're doing, you have to be sharp. You've got to go to different people and say, what are trends? What's happening in today's market? Is this system a good a good program or not for my client? And that personality, will it mold effectively? So when you're coming at it from that perspective, it's a wonderful reception as the client, because now I'm able to put things together that I wasn't comfortable in doing. I got outside of my comfort zone because my coach said, Rick, you can do this. This is something you can do. You know, we all put our pants on the same way. We just have to deliver the message to the consumer so that the consumer will choose us to help them with their product. And
Rick?
the better we can do the way, and the most, it would be the first thing I always invest in, no matter what, in my business. It would be that this the first thing. And connecting with somebody that I can personally connect with is also very important.
Awesome. Well, again, Rick, I appreciate you taking this time to be able to pour into others and be able to share some of your experiences. And I know that those that are listening today or that will listen will get something that'll help them move forward in their business. And if anything's important, it's always being able to move forward. Sometimes it can be challenging, yet we just put one foot in front of the other. We can make it to our goals. So
absolutely.
Thank
Well,
you.
I'm always available if anybody ever has any questions, simply because I've fallen so many times, but I've always gotten back up, and I'm not afraid of failure. I would say that some of the greatest levels of my success have come because I've been a dummy. So it's that's part of the education process, and I understand that I'm going to have some strawberries on my knees down the road, because I'm still not through falling, and I plan on continuing to get up. So if there's anything I can do for anybody, whether they're starting out or they want to come and be a part of our team, I'd love to chat about that. We do have some big opportunities here down the road, and but it's going to need to be the right person that's going to make the higher level of commitment. But easy way to reach me is rick@texasrockstargroup.com, or my cell phone number is 281-960-1900. And I would love to spend some time with anybody, whether they want to do something on their own or if they're trying to waste some resources and possibly come and be a part of what we're doing.
All right. Well, thanks again, Rick. I really appreciate you taking the time out today, and look forward to continuing to meet with you in the future.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Jeremy.
All right. Bye.